Hello and welcome. My name is Bruce Johnson. I'm one of the sales engineers here at CyberArk, and in this video I'm going to show how the over-the-shoulder authentication works. So first I'm going to show what it looks like in action, then I'll show how you actually set it up in the APM control panel in the settings. So in this example I'm going to go and open date and time, and as you'll see when I go to launch it, it's going to ask for a set of credentials. Now this is something that we specified in the settings, which I'll show you, but essentially the idea is that you would specify like a security group, whether that's a local group or domain group, or specific people of who you'd want to be able to actually launch this. In this example, I've got a user called HDTech1, so I'm going to put in his credentials, which is different than the user that I'm logged in as. I'm actually logged in as John, so I'm going to launch his credentials, and notice how it's able to launch. And what's great about this is you could allow certain actions to be elevated by the user, but then you could say specific things someone would need to enter in a different set of credentials for it to elevate it. So now that we've seen how it looks like in action, let me show you how to actually configure that. Here's actually the documentation that gives you instructions on how to set it up, but let's actually go into the actual settings and we'll see how that's actually done here. So the first thing you'll want to do in the dialogues, so you'll want to edit your Elevate and Elevate Trusted windows. You can also create a new prompt, which is what I did. So I said add dialog, and I created one for both Elevate and Elevate Trusted. And I'll go into Elevate Trusted, for example, and show the change that you need to add. So in here, if we scroll down, there is a section for the authorized username and password. Now, if you leave the default, it will automatically put in the current username of the person that's actually launching the action. But if you click the little three dots, you can say to require confirmation by an authorized user that you specify. So if I do that, then I can hit cancel there, and I'll go show it that where you go do that. So if you wanted to say, all right, I want to only allow a certain group of people to be able to elevate this specific functions, under agent configuration, if you go down to where it says elevation confirmation, it's going to give you some options. One, it's going to say administrators group, or you can specify a specific group. So if you didn't want to leverage the built administrators group, which could be security risk, you could specify a specific group, and that's what I did here. I basically just says if it's the group HDTechs, and that could be a local group, which is what I did here, or you can do a domain group too. Basically anybody that's in this group, if they go and put in their username and password and they're in that group, then it would allow that action to actually elevate for it. And to use that dialog box, let's say, for example, you wanted to only give that technician to launch certain things that they'd be on there, they need to put their credentials in for, like say command prompt, maybe another one. You can have specific policies that require that extra layer of security there. So I want to go into an advanced policy here. And I'm going to go find the date and time policy that I created earlier, and we're just going to edit this one. And this one I did an elevate option, so I said I wanted to always elevate. But when I go into the end user UI, this is where you would choose which drop-down dialog box you want. So in here, I picked my launch with elevated privileges over the shoulder, or OTS. So that is why I'm getting that window whenever that launches in there. Yeah. All right, folks, that was it for the demo here. Thank you, and have a wonderful day. Thank you for choosing CyberArk.